So it's half-time in the Leeds versus Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge, and it's 1-1. Rafinha scored a penalty, which definitely was a penalty. Dan James sort of flicked it through Marcos Alonso's legs and was brought down in the box, and that definitely was a penalty. Rafinha then scores it, which he, again, balls of steel. He did his stutter run up, and Mendy sort of stayed still as if he was going to stay in the middle, and then he put it past him. So that was a good penalty, although nerve-wracking. Then they got an equaliser in which Dallas took a bad touch near the edge of our box and was dispossessed by, I think, Jorginho, and then Marcos Alonso whipped it in near post on the floor, and Mason Mount with his left foot past Meslier. I think Meslier was expecting a high cross or a longer cross, and in fact the cross actually went along the floor front post, so Meslier just left a massive gap like this big at his near post, and it was just gone in there, and he didn't even have a chance to dive for it, really. So 1-1, probably a fair reflection of that first half. We've been a lot better than I thought we'd be. Dan James, Tyler Roberts, Jack Harrison doing a lot of good pressing up top, which is making them force a few errors and making us win the ball higher up the pitch, winning throw-ins, free kicks that also Rafinha had a few chances with. So I think it's a draw at the moment is probably a fair result of what's gone on. It's just disappointing for the fact that the way it went in. We did this against Spurs. We had a very good first half and we went in ahead. Obviously, we're drawing now. But with the team that we've got, we outperformed at Spurs, and we've done that in the first half here. We weren't able to hang on to it in the second half at Spurs, but I just hope that we can in this half. And I think it's possible, and I think perhaps maybe a bit later on, maybe from the 60th to the 90th minute, Gelhardt might come on, just because we know that he's not scared to take a shot, and he will just have a bash at goal whenever he gets the chance to. So I'm kind of hoping Gelhardt does come on a bit later on. And maybe Dan James goes out to the left and Harrison comes off, or some sort of way of working it where Tyler Roberts comes off, because he's been quite good, but he's been a bit feisty in the tackle, and he could have had a yellow card. I don't think it was, but in today's game, I think it probably was a yellow card, but I wouldn't have liked to see those given. The only other thing in that first half really was the Reece James tackle on Dan James, and like they said on the commentary, if he'd have made contact with his studs, then he would have been sent off. But I have seen it given where the follow through. In fact, it was like Pascal Stroik's. The follow through of his back leg wiping out the player was what got Stroik sent off for that Harvey Elliott tackle, and that was what did the damage. So the fact that he went through like that, wiped him out with his back leg, I think it could have been a red card justifiably, given that some of those have been given this season. We've seen one given to a Leeds player. So yeah, 1-1, a fair reflection, I think, of that first half. Rafinha, balls of steel again to score his 7th goal of the season. But I just hope that in this second half, we can really start to hold on to what we've got there and get a draw, if not try and push to get an extra goal. And it's a big ask given the team we've got. We're against the champions of Europe, for God's sake. But we just need to sort of calm down a bit, get a hold on the game, get a grip on the game, and then perhaps we can push on and potentially get a win. But it's unlikely. I'm hoping for a draw, to be honest, because a point per game is what we need. I will talk to you after the full-time whistle, and we'll see how well we did. I cannot fucking believe what's just happened. We'll just start at the end. That penalty. Why did Matthias Klick make that challenge? He didn't have to. It's in the corner of the box. A, it's a centre-back. B, it's in the corner of the box. C, he's facing the wrong way. He's not even facing towards goal. How many more reasons do you need not to try and put a foot in there? Just stand there, hold him off. If he turns, then you can make a tackle. If he turns either way, or you shepherd him into an area, you don't just go through the back of his foot like that. What the hell was he thinking? Why has Klick just done that? Because Joffy scoring that goal would have been one of the highlights of his career if we'd have got a draw. And I'm buzzing for him, and I said he should come on, and he scored, and Tyler Roberts with a great cross for him to score, and I was
euphoric when that went in. I thought, oh my God, we've got a draw against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, the champions of Europe. And then Click goes and does that. Rafinha's, we've given away 2 penalties, and the first goal for them was also an error, where the first goal, all right, you can have one error a game. It wasn't a horrendous error. We were just caught out of position, bad touch, and they're in suddenly because they are that good and they can do that. The other goals, Rafinha, he didn't need to slide in either in the box. The ball went between his legs, so he sort of scissored the ball out of play and got Rudiger in the process. That one's a bit debatable. It could be a penalty, it could not be. I don't think it was because I'm a Leeds fan, but it probably was if I'd have watched anybody else do it. Then the Click one, that is completely inexcusable. For a player who's not playing well anyway, you'd have thought that he'd have tried to make sure he thinks about what he does before he does it on the pitch. Why is he going through the back of his leg like that? It's Rudiger, and Rudiger was the one for the other penalty. He's tried and succeeded in winning 2 penalties against us. How have we let that happen? How could we possibly let that happen? He's just a big shithouse at the back who's come up, obviously trying to win penalties. And that last one, he was rolling around on the floor laughing. But we shouldn't give him that chance. It's not his fault. You'd do that if you could. It's not his fault. It's Click and Rafinha. Why do you need to make those tackles there? Both of them. It's the same player, and he's a centre-back. He's not dangerous for the shot, and he's not even facing the goal on the second one. The first one, he's a ridiculous angle in which he can't score from. He could only cross it. So you get your body in the way. You don't need to slide him. And the second one, why has he gone through the back of him? Right, let's try and not think about that and actually think about the way we actually played for the rest of the game, because I thought we were really, really good today, other than those stupid mistakes. We were actually really good. We created chances. We limited their chances a lot, and they had to win through 2 penalties. So that is also a massive positive. But if we could have got a point from today's game, going into it, I expected to lose, but it hurts so much more when you've gone into it and played like that and then lost. How? How have we let that slip? 2-2 in the 82nd minute, and then we go and give away a penalty in the 90-yard. Trying not to talk about it, but yeah, Gelhardt and Roberts linking up for that goal. And to be fair to Click, in the build-up, he created that goal. He did well to stay strong for the tackles that were coming in against him, and he played it into Roberts. Roberts plays a lovely ball, and Gelhardt gets it. Gelhardt gets his moment in front of the travelling fans. Everybody's loving it, but we go and throw it away. A point would have been massive there, and we really needed it. We played really, really well, and we deserved a point out of that game. I can't see any Chelsea fan disagreeing and saying that we didn't deserve at least a point out of that game, because I thought we were the better team, if not on par. And they're the champions of Europe, so the fact that we played that well is good. Give Adam Forshaw a new contract, please. He needs one. We're talking about giving him a bit of time to see if he's up to the speed again before giving him a new contract, because he's out of contract, I think, next year. Give him a new contract, even though he's just the right side of 30. Give him a new contract, 3 years, 32-ish. He really deserves it. He's class. He really is good, and it's transformed our midfield. And with him in the team, we didn't look like we missed Calvin that much today, and that is really, really saying something. So give Adam Forshaw a new contract now. Other than that, Meslier can't do much against those penalties. Dallas played very well. Firpo had quite a good game, I thought. Llorente and Ayling, brilliant. Ayling driving out from the back, taking people on and just getting us up the pitch. That's what we've missed with Ayling. That is definitely what we've missed. When we haven't had him in the team, we haven't had somebody from the back who just gets the ball and drives with it through the midfield, breaks the lines on his own, dribbling, and just gets us all up the pitch. He was really good today. Dan James was good, being a nuisance as usual. End product, not great. There was a moment in the second half where he was played in down the left-hand side, and he could have, if he'd have used the outside of his foot or his left foot, he potentially could have got it into the middle for Rafinha. We obviously had a really, really decimated squad, but we played really, really well, and it's very promising. If we could play like that against some of the worst sides that we've faced this season, then we should definitely get some points out of them. We really needed 1 point there. We really should have got 1 point there. We really deserved 1 point there, but we leave with none, and that is football. And that is down to the decisions of one man who just had a rush of blood to the head and kicked through the back of Rudiger's foot. So massively disappointing given how we played. If you'd have asked me before the game, I'd have said we'd lost. If you'd have asked me at half-time, which obviously you've seen that I did a bit at half-time, I thought potentially we could get a draw, and we nearly did given the way we played. So it's just so disappointing, so disappointing. Our fans were absolutely unreal on the coverage. You could hear them the whole game. The only time Chelsea sang were when they were in front. And yeah, it's just such a shame that those travelling fans went to see that. And obviously, brilliant game, but to come out the wrong side of it is just so disappointing. I'm actually going to the City game at the Etihad on Tuesday night, so there'll be a match day vlog from that out on Wednesday night, because obviously I won't get home in time to record it and put it out. So expect that on the channel next week, and then the weekend game as well against Arsenal. So yeah, thanks for watching this one. Terribly disappointing result given the way we played, but we move on to the next one. Hopefully we can play in a similar way. See you next time.